Look, boys. The Tacoma crew. The Tacoma camper crew. The one guy's got the oldest Tacoma and only a pop-up tent or a rooftop tent or whatever you call those contraptions. I don't really get the point of a tent on your roof of your, like, then you gotta camp wherever your truck is. I don't know why you don't just throw a tent on the ground, but I guess people feel safer. The other two guys got their campers. The Taco camper crew. Look at this, boys. Here in Radium, it's not all hunky-dory. It's not all fun and games around the bush adventures. So I'm getting into it. I'm here at the mill. Just came into town and was going to drive over to the city today. But this thing is making a mean noise. I thought it was brakes. So I have all the parts on here to fix brakes, change rotors. But there's still some life left on the pads. This tie rod. Look at that. That's how you tell, guys, if your tie rods are bad. You just jack it up, grab your tire and shake it side to side, and if it goes, then that means a bad tie rod. So I'm wondering, like, is this, when I'm going down the road, is that... Anyways, so I'm going to take it off here, knock it out, see if I can thread it in one more, and then thread the outer sort of coupling here, part of the tie rod, back out to meet up with the spindle here. So everything else doesn't look too bad under here. I thought it was a wheel bearing. They seem fine. If it's just tie rod, then that's not a big deal. The guy at the shop, when he looked at this, had told me these tie rods were bad like months and months ago, but I had just put them on. So I don't know what's up with that. There's not really any way that can loosen up on its own. And I don't know that, like, threading it's going to do anything, because it shouldn't have that play. Anyways, just wanted to show you guys what I'm getting into here. It's not all fun and games, boys. Okay, look at this. Look at this, boys. So first of all, I'm working on my truck here it's a fuel up station for logging trucks. So when you live in your vehicle and you got to fix it, you don't even have a driveway to fix it in, let alone a garage. So you got to find a random place. So I don't think they'll bother me here. I'm next to a grader and this, and that it's just a big open kind of work yard. So anyways, I found the problem. First of all, this thing is rusty as hell. So first of all, I wanted to tell you guys a little tip. First, these pins here that go through the bottom of these bolts, they always break. So you want to make sure you have extra of those, or wire or something you can use. Second thing is, when you get the nuts off these tie rods, first of all, tie rods are really easy to change, okay? They're simple. Like, you can do it yourself, trust me. Basic tools. And I don't even think you got to take your tire off. I think you could probably leave your tire on. Anyways, so you get that nut off. When you go to, you're going to have to hit that to get it out of there. And so I wanted to show you guys a little bush truck tip. And most people will know this. Make sure you put that nut on so that you don't screw up the threads. And then just give it a tap. I've already loosened that off, but look at this. Look how loose this thing is in there. It literally feels like it could fall right out. They're not supposed to be like that. Now watch. I twist it. All of a sudden it's not loose anymore. So this is how your alignment is adjusted in your vehicles, these tie rods. But it's supposed to be snug into the inner. There's an inner tie rod in there where that boot is, and then this is the outer tie rod. But this is what the outer is supposed to be snug into the inner, and then you've got this coupling on the end. This is how you adjust your alignment. So usually this is all they need to change, is this end piece, because this little ball joint gets screwed up. It's rare you got to change your inner one. But this thing wasn't even tight in there. Every time I turn it, it gets tighter. So that's going to be a culprit as to why the wheel might actually been shaking coming down the road, like, and giving me that king, 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 king off the side. So I'll make sure that you cover. Okay. So the tie rod's actually screwed because I can spin it, the whole thing, and I can get it to a point where it's tight, but then I can keep spinning it and it goes loose again. So the threads inside there, something's up. So I'm going to put it to a point where it's tight here and go from there. I'm going to have to get it back on, put it to a point where it's tight, get it back on, then drive to a town where I can buy another tie rod and swap that out. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Bush Truck here. I'm back in the Okanagan. This is a road that we know well, an area that we know well. I've filmed a lot of videos up here, my old videos when I used to take this truck and bag on it because I had a place to live and it wasn't my lifeline. We've been up this road. I don't remember the name of the video. It was probably 30 videos ago. And we went up a crazy hill up in there, and that was probably the wildest thing I've ever taken this truck up. It was just insane. I have a hard time hiking up there, and the old Ram made it. It's usually where off-roaders and side-by-sides and stuff go. So I'm here in town, and I like to come camp up here. We've filmed a lot of videos up here. This is my old stomping grounds where I would always come and film videos. And I like to come stay up here and clean up garbage. I like to come stay up here when I'm staying in town. I was staying at my buddy's, helping him with that fence, but he's doing a crazy reno there. There's too much traffic. The road's nuts. It's too loud. I can't stay down there. I come up to the bush, I can actually sleep. That's all done now. The fence is done. Everything's done. I'm just here banging out some quick edits. I'll show you guys what I got going on here. I got the Jenny running, exhaust into a fire pit with the ground cleared. Everything's really dry. Pine needles everywhere, forest fires everywhere. Really don't want to start a fire. So I'm being extra safe with the Jenny. It's got a spark arrestor too, so I'm not really too concerned, but I just wanted to make sure I'm good. So this video is about the tie rod. I just wanted to put a closer on it. You guys will have just seen the clips where the tie rod broke on me in radium. I fixed it the other day at my buddy's in his driveway. I wanted to say, when I was showing you guys on that tie rod there about how I thought it needed to be twisted in, I forgot how they worked. It's been a year since I changed them last year, but I ripped the boot, and so that's why erosion got into that ball joint, and that's actually why that was loose. It didn't need to be twisted in. It was tight. I'd just forgotten how they worked, and when I was actually twisting that in there, the ball joint was actually finding a different position where it wasn't as ready to come out, and so it wasn't fixing it at all, and it probably just worked its way loose almost with a little bit of driving. So that was a little bit of a nerve-wracking situation. I had to drive way back out into the bush. I had to drive 6-7 hours over here on the highway, and I was worried about it, needless to say. So now it's fixed, but it still didn't fix the shake in the front end when I brake. So what I was showing you there is I've got the new rotors sitting there. I wasn't going to put them in because I thought the tie rod might be what was giving me the rattle when I braked. Is this still recording? The thing stopped on me before. So now I'm gonna have to put them in, but I changed the brakes the other day too when I was fixing that tie rod. So I had the calipers pretty much off, half of them, and I didn't put the rotors on. So there's the rotors. I was gonna take them back because I didn't think I need them, but I'm still shaking, so now I gotta put the rotors on. Still got the shocks sitting in there. Didn't put the shocks on yet either. But anyways, the tie rod thing I got fixed. And also, I might have mentioned there was a crazy scrape. That day I was just having a rough day. I came out of the bush into town. It was really smoky. And I heard that thing rattling. I drove up against a concrete barrier. And I heard that, like, sounded really bad. Along with some other scraping I've been hearing for like a month now that I thought was a wheel bearing, and it's been weighing on my mind. So I got down there and looked at the tire. You will have just seen the video and realized the tie rod was broken. Changed the brakes and the dust that day. Still had the rattle and the scrape. I thought it could have been brakes, so I just took off to town and tried to push it out of my mind. Now the rattle in the brakes, it turns out, was a, probably can't see from here, but it was a tiny little piece of wire. You guys will have seen some of my muffler woes. The guys that were here since the beginning and saw me rip the muffler off this on a video one day out in the bush. Well, I had, for a couple of years, I had that muffler kind of pieced together and held up with wire. And so that wire I left there when I ripped that muffler. Well, a piece of it had worked its way over the drive shaft. And as the drive shaft was spinning, it was scraping on that wire and creating this scraping sound that I thought was like a wheel bearing or something catastrophic. So that was a super easy fix. And that made me feel a lot better about it. I've got to get new front tires. I haven't been doing a lot of drag racing lately, so I don't need the drag slick on the outside anymore. I'd like something with a bit more aggressive tread. And we'll see what we can find out at the used tire yard. Everything else is going great. That's all fixed now. The scrape's gone. The only thing left is this shake in the front end, but I know it's rotors and I got the rotors sitting there. So there's an update on how that went. And like I said, I'm back in Kelowna right now. I keep checking that this is recording because it just shuts off on me. And I'm all done here. I'm finishing my edits. I'm gonna go upload these and I'm taking off. Maybe. The smoke was here heavily. I didn't want to be in it. I was gonna go down to the island where there's no smoke. It's on the ocean. And I might as well go down to the ocean. I can't be in the mountains anymore. It's too much smoke, guys. I was thinking about heading down to the ocean, the coast, and get some videos out to you guys from down there. The fence is all done. The job application's going in as far as the update on the vlog style stuff goes. And everything's good. It's hot here, really hot. That's gonna be about it. Tie rod's fixed. Woohoo!